14 Iranian fast attack boats, armed, aggressive, racing across the water at 55 knots, and they're heading straight for a U.S. destroyer. The commanding officer has seconds to decide: warning shots, evasive action, or does he give the order that could ignite a full-scale conflict? This isn't a drill. This isn't a training exercise. This is the Persian Gulf, where American warships and Iranian Revolutionary Guard vessels play the most dangerous game of cat and mouse on the planet. One day, someone's going to hesitate a moment too long. A lot of what we've been discussing today comes down to preparation, the decisions made early, the trade-offs that only reveal their consequences later, and the systems that let all those small choices accumulate into meaningful results. That approach doesn't just apply to geopolitics or military strategy. You can find it in some of the best games, too, where the focus shifts from controlling a single character to building and managing an entire roster. In those games, progress isn't about reflexes, it comes from planning. You assemble a team, understand what each character brings to the fight, and learn how to combine them for different scenarios. Nothing is interchangeable, and weak setups get exposed quickly. There's always something worth optimizing, and even small adjustments can change how things unfold. Progress happens at a steady pace, without the feeling that you're being rushed through it. That's where Raid Shadow Legends fits in my experience, and it's what's kept me engaged. It gives you a massive roster and lets you approach challenges your own way. Campaigns, dungeons, and clan bosses all force you to think differently about team composition. I also appreciate the time spent upgrading champions or gear continues to matter later on. You're not constantly resetting or starting over. The effort you invest actually pays off. So, if that kind of long-term, system-driven gameplay sounds like something you'd enjoy, this is where I'd start. If you want to try it, use my link or scan the QR code on screen. Raid is celebrating its anniversary right now, and they're giving out a $200 anniversary package just for logging in. That includes the legendary champion, Cromar the Devourer, right from the start. And when you reach level 25, you'll also unlock the epic champion, Gallipo the Recluse. As you level up, you'll also receive additional rewards which will appear on screen, including an epic skill tome at level 10, 500,000 silver at level 15, 500 energy at level 20, a 5-star chicken at level 30 to help rank up your champions, and 7 million silver at level 35. New players can also get a legendary spirit champion, Pelops the Victor. Just download Raid via my link and use promo code RAID7. And if you're a new player, you can choose one of 6 promo codes to unlock a free legendary champion of your choice. You can only use one, so pick the one that matters most for your individual strategy. For example, if you want raw power, go with Turvold using code BIGDOG with a W. If you prefer Alice the Wanderer, use Get Alice. Cheshire Cat is available with Kitty Cut. Sun Wukong the Monkey King is unlocked with Monkey King, and that one's available until March 26th, 2026. Ultimate Death Knight uses UD King, and if speed is more your style, Razlavorg is unlocked with Go Fast. Just make sure you download the game through my link or scan the QR code first, then enter your chosen promo code in-game. Otherwise, the rewards won't apply. There are also rewards available for everyone in the community. Between March 5th and March 21st, players can get Pelops the Victor through the Classic Fusion event. There's also a 7-day gift chain with new rewards waiting each day, plus a Titan event where you can earn a unique 7th anniversary avatar frame. You can find me in Raid as Marai, M-A-R-A-I, and you are welcome to join my clan with the clan tag L15T. Do you understand what's happening in these waters? You need to understand one number: 21 million. That's how many barrels of oil pass through the Strait of Hormuz every single day. That's roughly 21% of the world's total petroleum consumption. The strait is only 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. The shipping lanes are even tighter, and on one side sits Iran. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGCN, operates a specialized naval branch called the IRGCNN, and their entire strategy is built around one concept: small, fast, heavily armed boats, hundreds of them. Their job is to overwhelm American warships through sheer numbers. They operate Bogomar speedboats, Peikop missile boats, and Chinese-designed Blade Runner 51 catamarans that can hit 65 knots. These aren't patrol boats, they're floating weapons platforms. Some carry anti-ship missiles, others carry torpedoes. Some are rigged as suicide boats packed with explosives and aimed at the biggest target they can find. Sound familiar? In October 2000, a small boat packed with explosives pulled alongside the USS Cole in Yemen and detonated. 17 American sailors were killed. The blast tore a 40 by 60-foot hole in a billion-dollar destroyer. That's the ghost that haunts every single encounter in the Persian Gulf. And in January 2017, that ghost almost became reality. The USS Mahan, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, was transiting the Strait of Hormuz. Standard operation, happens multiple times a week. Then the radar operator called it in. Multiple fast-moving contacts inbound, high speed. 4 Iranian fast attack craft were closing in on the Mahan. No radio communication, no response to bridge-to-bridge warnings, just 4 armed speedboats racing toward a U.S. warship. The Mahan's crew went to general quarters. Sailors sprinted to battle stations, weapon systems armed, fire control radars locked on. The boats kept coming. At 900 yards, less than half a mile, the commanding officer of the Mahan made the call. Warning shots. The Mahan fired 3 warning shots from her .50 caliber machine gun. Not at the boats, near them, close enough to leave no doubt about what comes next. The Iranian boats finally turned away. They'd closed within 900 yards of a destroyer armed with enough firepower to level a small city. But here's what makes this incident terrifying. 900 yards. At 55 knots, an IRGC speedboat covers that distance in about 30 seconds. That means the commanding officer of the Mahan had 30 seconds between this might be a provocation and this might be a suicide attack. 30 seconds to decide whether to start a war. And this wasn't an isolated incident, it was part of a pattern that was getting more aggressive every single month. 6 months after the Mahan incident, it happened again. The USS Thunderbolt, a Cyclone-class patrol coastal ship, was operating in the northern Persian Gulf. She's smaller than a destroyer, only 179 feet long, crew of about 30. An IRGCN patrol boat approached at high speed. Once again, no radio response, no course change, direct approach. The Thunderbolt fired warning shots after the Iranian vessel closed within 150 yards. 150 yards, that's 1.5 football fields. At that distance, you can see the faces of the crew on the other boat. You can see what weapons they're carrying, and you have approximately 5 seconds before they're alongside you. The Iranian boat finally veered off after the warning shots, but 150 yards, that's not a provocation, that's a near miss. And this kept happening again and again. In 2016 alone, the Pentagon reported over 35 unsafe and unprofessional interactions with Iranian vessels in the Persian Gulf, 35 times in 1 year. 2015, 20 incidents. 2016, 35. The first 3 months of 2017, multiple incidents, including the Mahan. So why does Iran do this? Are they crazy? Suicidal? No, they're strategic. Iran knows it can't win a conventional naval war against the United States, not even close. The entire Iranian Navy combined has less firepower than a single American carrier strike group. So they use asymmetric tactics, harassment, provocation. They push right up to the line, but never cross it. Every close encounter serves multiple purposes. 1, intelligence gathering. They watch how American ships react, how fast they escalate, where the weapons are positioned, response times. 2, propaganda. State media films these encounters and presents them as brave Iranian sailors standing up to the American fleet. 3, deterrence calibration. They're testing exactly where the red line is. How close can they get before the Americans shoot? And when the Americans don't shoot, they move the line closer. But there's a terrifying scenario the Navy has been preparing for, the one where Iran doesn't stop. In 2002, the Pentagon ran a massive war game called Millennium Challenge. The Red Team, playing the role of Iran, was commanded by a Marine general named Paul Van Riper. Van Riper did something the Pentagon didn't expect. He launched a massive swarm attack using small boats, cruise missiles, and unconventional tactics. The result? In the simulation, the Red Team sank an aircraft carrier, 10 cruisers, and 5 amphibious ships. 16 warships destroyed, the equivalent of the entire Persian Gulf fleet wiped out in a single morning.
Now, the Pentagon disputed these results. They reset the war game and changed the rules. But the lesson was clear. Swarm tactics work, and Iran has been building toward exactly this capability for 2 decades. Every year, Iran conducts great profit exercises in the Persian Gulf. They practice mass small boat attacks against replica U.S. warships. They even built a mock aircraft carrier to rehearse sinking it. They have an estimated 1,500 small craft in the IRGC fleet. Not all are combat boats, but enough to overwhelm any defensive system through sheer volume. So what's the Navy's answer? The Phalanx CIWS, a radar-guided 20mm Gatling gun that fires 4,500 rounds per minute. It can track and destroy incoming missiles and small boats. The Mark 38 25mm chain gun, designed specifically for the small boat threat. Helicopter gunships, SH-60 Seahawks armed with Hellfire missiles and door-mounted miniguns. And the newest addition, laser weapons. The USS Portland successfully tested a high-energy laser that can burn through small boats at the speed of light. But the most effective defense, the one that's prevented a catastrophe so far, is trained crews, commanding officers who know exactly when to shoot and when to hold fire. Sailors who can make life or death decisions in 30 seconds, because in the Persian Gulf, that's all the time you get. But what about the incidents that didn't end with warning shots, the ones that went further? Not every encounter in the Persian Gulf makes the news. In April 2020, Trump tweeted, yes, tweeted, "I have instructed the U.S. Navy to shoot down and destroy any and all Iranian gunboats if they harass our ships at sea." This came after 11 Iranian Sea Corps gunboats conducted dangerous and harassing approaches towards 6 U.S. warships in the northern Persian Gulf. 11 boats, 6 warships at close range for over an hour. The Navy's response was measured. They didn't change the rules of engagement based on a tweet, but the Iranians didn't know that. For weeks afterwards, Iranian encounters in the Gulf dropped to near zero. The ambiguity of that threat, will they actually shoot us now, was its own deterrent. But by 2021, the encounters resumed, and they evolved. Iran started using drones alongside their fast boats. In 2022 and 2023, Iranian drones buzzed American warships multiple times, sometimes flying directly over the flight deck. This is the new threat. It's not just fast boats anymore. It's a combined swarm of drones and boats moving from multiple directions at different speeds and altitudes. And the scariest part, every single one of these encounters is happening in a body of water where a single miscalculation could block 21 million barrels of oil per day. Iran doesn't need to win a war. They just need to close the Strait of Hormuz, even for a week, even for a day. Oil prices would spike, global markets would panic, and the economic damage would be measured in the hundreds of billions. That's the real weapon, not the fast boats, not the missiles, the threat of closure. And every time they harass an American warship, they're reminding the world, we can shut this down whenever we want. Every day, American warships transit the Strait of Hormuz, and every day, Iranian Revolutionary Guard boats are watching, waiting, testing. 900 yards, 150 yards, 30 seconds between peace and war. So far, both sides have blinked in time. The Americans hold fire, the Iranians turn away. But one day, maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, someone won't blink fast enough. And when that happens,
everything changes. If you want to see another confrontation where a superpower pushed a Navy ship to the brink, check out this video about the time China tried to ram a U.S. destroyer in the South China Sea.